Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, why one of us isn't excited about the Fantastic Four cast reveal.
Also, the best place to take a bathroom break on a road trip and more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Good day. Welcome to Thursday. Check out the Worst of the Riot podcast at the RadioU Riot podcast, wherever you get your shows for daily highlights, as well as our weekly podcast exclusive extra show, which today we'll be dropping, and that's all about streaming services and the future of streaming. Isaiah, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You're a well-known grocery shopper. You like to dilly-dally around the store.
I do love to dilly-dally.
And when you're standing in the checkout line, and let's say you got a whole week's worth of stuff in your cart, and then there's somebody behind you, and they have like two things, you let them go in front of you, right? You let them go in front of you, right?
No.
You don't let them, even if they had two things, you don't let them go.
I don't.
It's a long line.
I don't let them go in front of me.
They're going to be waiting a long time behind you, checking out your many, many things. And they have two things.
Well, the good thing is usually at self-checkouts, there's like 6 of them. So I assume that somebody else will probably finish and they can get in there. But I also pride myself on being a quick self-checker outer.
Uh-huh.
I've seen some people go through the self-checkout and they are dilly-dallying. That's the one place I don't dilly-dally. Is the self-checkout.
Yeah, you're all business.
Speeding in there.
All business at the self-checkout.
But I'm not letting you go in front of me now.
Never. Under no circumstances.
No, because then you get into the awkward, like, you can go in front of me, and they're like, oh, well, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, no, please. And I don't want to have that awkward conversation with someone, and I don't really like talking to strangers at the grocery store. That's just opening yourself up to an awkward conversation. Some people are just awkward.
That can't be true, but the idea is that if you let them go ahead, that just saves them time. So because they only have two things, they're probably in a rush anyways if they have such a small amount of things. And so they're not going to want to linger and talk to you. They're going to be like, thanks, bud. And then they're going to skip ahead and get out of there.
Yeah, I do understand that.
Yeah.
But I also go to the grocery store around 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
If I ever go. I guess actually I go closer to around 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're going to the grocery store around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you probably don't need to get anywhere very quickly. And if you do need to get somewhere quickly, then you would have gotten in front of me. You would already be in front of me. And I have places to be too.
What if they're on their lunch break?
I have places to be as well.
But wouldn't the world be better if if the kind of cascading effect, and every time you only had two things, you got to go ahead, and then you'd be further along in life? You wouldn't have to wait behind somebody dilly-dallying?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I also am in the position
you.
where, look at me, I'm one single guy.
Yeah.
How many times do you think I get into self-checkout with a bunch of stuff? Almost never. If someone's in front of me with a bunch of stuff, I actually hate them.
Exactly, but if you have a big cart, that's what people are thinking of you.
Yeah, but I'd never have that. Look at me. When do I have a big cart? I'd never do.
I don't know what your grocery shopping trips are like.
Oh,
I don't know how far
I get like 6 things every single time. I grocery shop like once or twice a week. But also, if I had a bunch of stuff, I would go to the conveyor belt. I wouldn't go to self-checkout. What are you doing there?
Let you know you've completely derailed what my question was, which is what is the gap between the person behind you with two things and how many things? How few things do you have to have before you still say, yeah, you can go ahead? Is it 12?
Did you go through this yesterday, it sounds like?
Yeah.
Were you the person who had a lot or a little?
I had a lot, and there was somebody behind me.
Did you let him go?
Not this time.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Not this time.
You hypocrite.
It was 10 things. It's 10. I have 10.
No, if you have 10,
2.
that's not even
debatable.
Not even debatable.
15.
10 things.
What about 15?
15 is now you're pushing to be. You have a lot in self-checkout at 15.
Yeah.
You should question even being there at 15.
15 is too much for self-checkout.
You're getting close. I'm saying you're getting close.
It's still enough for the express lane.
10 is like you're good. I know. 15 is the express lane.
Yeah.
And so you're like on the very edge of self-checkout.
So 15, you're saying is definitely let number 2 go.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you can. If you're willing to let someone go in front of you, then 15 you should.
Somewhere between 10 and 15.
Because you got the max in there.
Add a little Riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Saw the big news in the Marvel Cinematic Universe yesterday, but people are finally excited again about Marvel after seeing the new cast made official for the Fantastic Four movie.
Very exciting.
The cast is, I think it's all people that were already rumored, so it's already kind of, if you were making an educated guess at what the Fantastic Four cast would be, this is it. Pedro Pascal, you know him from The Mandalorian, The Last of Us. He's Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. Then you have Vanessa Kirby, who looks like she's been in some Mission Impossible. It's a name I recognize, a face I recognize. I didn't realize all the things she's been in. She was in Fast and Furious, The New Napoleon. She's Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Joseph Quinn, a.k.a. Eddie from the new season of Stranger Things. He's Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. And then Iban Mas Bakrak. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know him from The Bear. And he is the Thing, Ben Grimm. And people are pretty jazzed about this, it seems. Even some Marvel skeptics. They also announced a release date, July 25th of next year.
So not in a couple months.
No.
Got
that
it.
would be
2025, you're saying.
Yeah. Just over a year from now, we'll get the new Fantastic Four movie. How jazzed up are you about this announcement?
I like it. Everybody is excited, it seems, from all the forums that I'm reading about it.
Yeah.
And so it seems as if they feel like this is a win for Marvel.
Mhm.
Marvel hasn't had a lot of wins recently, so I will give them a win, and I will support this.
Yeah.
I will be positive and say I think this will be good.
I don't want to be a wet blanket.
Here we go. Here we
I
go.
don't wanna
Who's
be-
shocked here? Who's surprised? Go
I don't
on.
want to be. It's not. The casting is great. You give me this cast, and I have high hopes. But I think we all need to temper our expectations because going back through all these recent Marvel movies, is the cast been the problem? In Ant-Man Quantumania, was the cast the issue? In Loki, was the cast the issue? I mean, not that those weren't the worst. In what's the one with Samuel L. Jackson? The show.
Oh, the show.
Yeah, the
I've
people
seen
hated
it. I
it.
forget what it's called. Yeah, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Was the casting the problem? It's not that they're bad. They've never had bad actors in Marvel. No one's watching Marvel and going, well, the acting sucks. It's that the story now is getting too convoluted. The CGI is bad. Like there's any other myriad things with Marvel movies as of late and TV shows that have fallen off. It's not that they've chosen bad people to play. So as excited as it is that we get Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards and Iban as the Thing and Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, that's all great. But that's not what's going to make the movie great and worth watching. And so we need some good writers on this. We need a good approach. And so I'm hopeful for that. I'm just saying this doesn't assuage all my concerns.
I would say that you're right. The casting has been a hit and pretty much across the board here.
Yeah.
The person who has cast all these movies, that's how I know that this is going to work, is Sarah Haley Finn.
Uh-huh.
And she's pretty much cast almost every single Marvel movie.
Now we're getting deep into it. Talking casting directors.
That's how you know that she knows what she's doing. So I have no questions.
Yeah.
That Pedro Pascal and the rest of the cast are gonna crush this.
And if she's done the casting for most of the Marvel movies, then she's found some real diamonds in the rough. There's a lot of people that, and some people may not even recognize some of these actors' names. They're stars if you watch the things that they're in, but they're not the world's biggest stars. Except, I mean, Pedro Pascal, pretty hot right now. But this casting director, she's found some diamonds in the rough. But that's not what makes the Marvel movies work alone.
Will you stop being such a downer? Come on.
I'm
People
not
can't be
usually a
excited.
downer.
People can't be excited for the Fantastic Four.
I just don't want everybody to be disappointed, is what I'm saying. I don't want everybody to be like, Marvel's back, baby. And because we've had that a couple times. And then you go and you watch it, you're like, well, that was pretty mediocre. I don't want that.
So you think we should temper expectations from Marvel from here on out?
Until they earn our expectations.
You don't think they've earned it over the course of the past 10, 15 years? I feel like we should, if we start holding them to a low standard, then they should just stop making movies. Quit while they're ahead. I'm going to keep them to the same standard. I'm not going to say, hopefully they can put out a decent movie.
Yeah.
I've seen them put out some of the best movies. I'm going to continue to hold them to that standard. And if they disappoint me, then I'll come on here and I'll rip them like I have the past 2 years.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
Our next food fight. The crunchy buffalo flavored Cheetos. We're going to be trying those much too early in the morning for people to normally be eating Cheetos. We're going to do it. Watch along on the Radio U Riot Facebook page and YouTube channel. Yesterday, if you happen to be at a Lego store, really across the globe, any Lego store around the world, around quitting time yesterday, what you would have seen is a scene of a bunch of guys lined up at the Lego store buying the Lego flowers, the Lego roses for Valentine's Day. There's a big trend. I saw there, it appears that they are $99.99 for a set.
What? $100?
That's what I'm seeing.
That's unbelievable. But now that I think about it, Lego is expensive.
Yeah.
But that's pretty wild.
I was thinking about it. What do you think your gal, how do you think she would react if you got her Lego roses instead of regular roses or nothing at all?
Legos aren't really our thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that she would be like, I don't think that she would probably appreciate the $100 Legos as much as somebody who really likes Legos.
Yeah. No, if I got these for my wife, she would openly mock me.
She would make fun of you.
She would, yeah. I know some people are going to not, some people's opinion of my wife is about to go down because my wife thinks Legos are for children. She
sounds like my wife.
So if I got these for her, I think she would be, she'd be shocked that I knew her so little. It's a thing. But from my personal stance, it's not exactly my thing either. But then I think about it, it's like roses are pretty expensive too. And these, for $100, you get roses that never die. And they look actually pretty good. Like they
do look good.
Better than in my mind when I pictured Lego roses. And then when I saw the picture, the actual picture of what they actually look like, they look much better than what I had in my mind.
But like imagine you walk into my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at my dinner table in the center, like obviously these never die, but it's going to look, how's it going to look?
Yeah.
When you walk in, you're like, oh, nice roses.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a centerpiece
plastic
to the table.
I think maybe even just fake roses. I mean, you can always buy fake roses and they last a long time.
You can.
That look real.
Mm-hmm.
These are $100 for these plastic roses. Yet again, if you guys are big Lego people, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea. I like it.
Yeah.
If you're not Lego people, not worth the money.
Would you feel, not you personally, I'm just asking people, like if you're a gal that's getting these, sometimes part of like getting a Valentine's gift is like being able to have it on your desk on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Or like, at the office or whatever. Would you feel real good about having the Lego roses after one of you two, or maybe you do it together? You build them and then you like bring them in and put it on your office at work, at your desk at work. Is that going to feel cool?
But at the same time though, I think that it might fit better at work than it does at home.
Definitely than on your dinner table for sure.
Yeah, on your dinner table, that looks crazy.
Yeah.
But at work, I mean, the plastic roses seem kind of fitting. You could have those there year round.
Exactly.
I think, and then Thomas asked, my question is, do you assemble the Lego roses or give it to them in the box?
You got to know your gal.
Do you do it together? If she's into Lego, if she's really into Lego, you're doing it together. She wants to be there to put it together.
Yeah.
I think that if she's not so much into Lego, then you just give them to her if you're going to, which is still wild.
Yeah. I think it's part of the fun. I think it's part of the fun of she gets to make them.
But if it's $100, that's your only gift on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Yes.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
If you ever go on a long road trip, where is the best place to stop to go to the bathroom? I have one TikToker here who does a lot of driving. There's an interesting claim. Somewhere you wouldn't expect is where you should take your bathroom break. He says, this guy, Zach Underwood, claims that you should go to the bathroom at hotels on your long road trips.
Hotels.
He says, swing on by a Holiday Inn or a Red Roof Inn or just, I guess, anywhere that has a hotel lobby with a bathroom in it. He says almost nobody uses those bathrooms. And so you can just zip in there and use them, and you know it's going to be clean and nice because it's a hotel and it's usually unused privacy as well. Some pretty good marks. You ever tried that?
I am of the thought that I want the quickest. I'm looking for speed.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered by the cleanliness.
Oh, really?
I'm also a man,
Yeah.
so I don't have to sit down. So I get to stand. If I get to stand,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to standing in a bathroom that some others may not want to sit in. I'll stand in there.
Okay.
And as long as it's closest to the highway,
Yeah.
I'm getting off, using whatever restroom they have, getting back on.
So you don't have any kind of preferred place?
Obviously, I like a more upscale gas
Mhm.
station. Something like on the lines of like Sheets.
Yeah.
Always a good spot. Any of the travel bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
I like those. A rest stop even. Cool with a rest stop.
Yeah.
Rest stops premier. Because then you don't have to get off on an exit.
Yeah.
You can just kind of they have their own little exit.
Rest stops are a good choice.
But I'm just looking for speed. I'm not messing around.
Sheets has signs in their bathrooms that are like, hey, let us know if the bathrooms are dirty because we pride ourselves on having very clean bathrooms. Sometimes they are. Sometimes Sheets can have dirtier bathrooms. I know many people, if we had Nene sitting here right now from afternoons, he would say Buc-ee's.
Yep.
Of course, because they also known. It's one of the things they hang their hat on is that they have such nice bathrooms for road trips. In my experience using hotel lobby bathrooms, I think they're oftentimes kind of hidden and out of the way to where even if you were staying in the hotel, you wouldn't even know where it is. And so what would be weird is going into a hotel and asking. I don't want anywhere where I have to ask where the bathroom is. And so
I want to know.
Yeah. And you're right that hotels not always, usually, I mean, depending on where you're driving, which highway you're on, there could be hotels right off the highway, but that's not a given. My top place is McDonald's.
Mickey D's.
Yeah, you stop at a McDonald's. They usually actually keep, I haven't been to many McDonald's that have just atrocious bathrooms. You know where they are. You can get a nice little snack while you're there. Perhaps cash in those app rewards points. McDonald's is usually what I tend to because there is a little more of an expectation of the McDonald's one is going to be nicer than many standard gas stations. You aren't going to need a key or anything like that, no matter which one you go to, pretty much. So
and I like
that's
to be able to get a snack too.
yeah.
That's another reason why like McDonald's is a good choice. Gas station, they're always real convenient, and you can get in and out. The comment section on this, absolutely unbelievable.
What are some of the
You want to hear what they're saying?
Yeah, I do.
People are saying,
Now that
or
you
a
brought it up.
hospital.
A hospital?
Like, wouldn't you feel wrong walking
Yeah.
in there?
It's not meant for you.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
You're slowing things down.
Uh-huh. What if somebody has an emergency and they need to use it?
Exactly. And just even being in there, just
Yeah.
another person in there, you don't want to be in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're getting in
another
the
one.
way.
I always go to the bank.
The bank.
bank.
When is the bank even open?
And there's 3 people sitting in there that are staring at you.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't seen anybody in hours. Nobody goes inside
Yeah.
a bank. They're going through the
There's
drive-thru.
tumbleweeds that blow through there
Yes.
routinely.
When somebody walks in, they're like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Sherry, wake up.
She must need a loan.
Yes. City hall or libraries, another wild.
Yeah.
Like, what exit are you getting off of where the city hall is anywhere close?
You just know where the library is, and then in the library, you just know where the bathroom is? Come on.
I always go to Lowe's or Home Depot. Now, that's a little better.
Yeah.
If it's there and available, I like the smell of those
Where's
places.
those at the back? Yeah, it does smell good.
CVS or Walgreens, I'm for that as well. If it's there and available off the exit, They have a good bathroom.
Do
Probably.
they have bathrooms? I don't think they usually have public ones.
And that's true. There's nothing worse than walking into a place that you think is going to have a bathroom on a road trip, but they don't have one. Now you've wasted an extra 7 minutes.
That's right. And you don't just stop to go to the bathroom when you kind of have to go. You stop when you
have
need
to go. And you know the closer that you think you're getting, the more you have to go. You walk through the door of an establishment, you think a bathroom's
Your body's sending the signals, this Walgreens, time to let loose. And then sometimes they don't have one. You can't do that. I was to see Target and Kohl's.
Target, you can get a slushie, but I can get that at the gas station.
Yeah. What's your favorite bathroom place on a rest stop? On a road trip, 8772 Radio U.
If podcast awards were ever a thing, this show wouldn't win any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Yesterday, class action lawsuit filed. A Valentine's Day lawsuit. How fitting, how appropriate, how apt that it would be the Match Group that gets sued on Valentine's Day, responsible for the dating apps such as The League and Hinge and Tinder. The reason they're being sued is because some users are accusing them of encouraging compulsive use and engaging in a predatory business model.
Sounds like some big claims.
Yeah.
But it isn't really telling me much about what they're really going for.
Well, they say the lawsuit states that Match in all of their dating apps employs features that gamify the platform to transform users into gamblers locked in a search for psychological rewards that Match makes elusive on purpose. That, I guess, what is their tagline? Designed to be deleted. But they literally in this lawsuit are saying that that's a lie. They're designed to do quite the opposite, to keep you on there as long as possible instead of giving you the reward that you're hoping for, which is dates.
So why do they feel this way? Because it's just never ending?
Yeah. I think because based off of the features that they use, they're not actually making it the best that they could to actually set people up on dates.
The plaintiff said that Match counteracts many of their benefits by including such things as you can like an unlimited number of profiles. But many times these often lead to breadcrumbing or ghosting, where users receive empty messages and fail to build relationships because you can like an unlimited number.
Mm-hmm. So what would be the alternative to that, though?
They want you to be able to like 3 people.
Yeah.
And if they don't like you, you can't like another 3 people for a month.
Or would you have to keep going through and like unliking? You only have 5 likes you can give out. You have to have a ranking of the people you like. And then when you find somebody new, you can keep swiping through. When you find somebody that makes it into the top 5, one of the other top 5's got to go. That also sounds like a really ridiculous way to do things.
I think it's the whole designed to be deleted. They need to take that out, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're saying that it's designed not to be deleted. It's designed to be addicted, for it to be never ending.
They literally want, in the lawsuit, they want that as part of what they seek is unspecified damages to people who have paid for Tinder, Hinge, or the League in the last 4 years. They also seek new warnings about the risks of addiction and the removal of the designed to be deleted tagline is what they are suing for.
It sounds like they just don't want the never-ending scroll.
Yeah.
They want an ending scroll.
Or are they just single and upset?
I think they're single and upset. Come on. Really? Like, I don't think that you can blame Hinge for your dating woes.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've given you too many options.
Yeah.
Like that. Or I think the real issue is, at least the people that are upset about this, is they think the people they like have too many options.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it seems like, right?
Enough.
It seems as if the people that they're interested in, they're like, well, I want them to only see me. And once I reach out and they're talking to me, I don't want them to see anybody else.
Once they like me, they have to answer my message.
They know how this works?
Yeah.
We liked each other. Why aren't we messaging nonstop?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to see other people? Just see me.
I think you have the answer right there. all
Seems
right.
as if it's a little too much.
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
Love 'em or leave 'em. And this one hits close to home. It's a Valentine's edition, and it revolves around Isaiah. You got the quick version, Isaiah?
Of course. Yesterday, my girlfriend and I hung out for a short period of time because we had other things going on. And so our Valentine's Day, as we planned late last week, was supposed to be this coming Friday. We have dinner reservations. I told her there's going to be surprises and fun, all of the Valentine's Day stuff.
You made a lot of big promises.
And then yesterday, she's going out of town, but she says, I want to see you for like an hour before I leave. I said, all right, that's cool. That's cool. So I come home, and she's already at my house, and I walk into my bedroom, and she has gifts there for me. And in my mind, I thought we were doing everything on Friday.
Yeah.
So I walked in like a fool.
Empty-handed.
Empty-handed with nothing other than, thanks for getting me all these things. And she was like, you can open them now. And I was like, I'm not opening them now because obviously I have nothing for you right now because there's things to come. But then it makes it look like I didn't have gifts, and now I'm getting her gifts because she got me gifts. And I'm like, am I in the wrong? Even though she wasn't mad at me.
All right. Here's what the people are saying. Regina says, I think you're fine, or at least I wouldn't be mad at my husband if that happened and we'd agreed on a later Valentine's date. But she's married. It's a little different after you've been married for a little bit. You guys are still, this is your first Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is.
Then you have Max who says, dude, you got to really rock it all on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
He says, I wish I had a limo to help you out. You may as well propose marriage if you love this gal. That feels a little extreme, Max. But, yeah, he's way on the other side. D says, if she surprised you and you guys had already planned on Friday, then it's just cool that that's what she wanted to do. So you should just be happy with that. Take it as a surprise and just expect that she wasn't expecting anything from you on yesterday. Good advice. And then we have Susanna who says, neither of you are wrong unless she's secretly annoyed with you, then she's wrong.
Now we're talking. Let's flip the table. I like it. She brings me gifts. I have no gifts.
She's wrong.
She's wrong, yes.
I think, I'll say it too, I kind of agree with Susanna a little bit. I think, I disagree in this way. I think neither of you are wrong. I think you're both wrong. You should have still had something. You should have had a card. You should have had a single rose. You should have had...
Yeah, I should have had something.
A dollar store box of Russell Stovers. You should have had something when you knew you were going to see her. But that's all she should have given you as well until Friday. Why is she giving you all of the gifts on Wednesday when you guys are only hanging out for a few minutes? So she has no reason to be upset with you, but you should have had the foresight Valentine's Day. Come on. Just because you guys aren't doing the full day, you got to have something.
See, and I thought, this is what's crazy, is as I was driving there, a couple of days ago, I'd been listening to a podcast about a guy who said his wife was really confident in that she didn't want flowers for Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
And then she went to work, and everybody else at work had gotten flowers, and then all of a sudden she was like, she wasn't mad at him that she didn't get flowers, but she felt as if she should have gotten flowers, even though she didn't want them. So he says now, no matter what, he just gets his wife flowers every year. So as I was driving home and I knew she was at my house, I was like, and I was running behind. We didn't have much time. And I was like, should I be picking something up? Like, should I be getting flowers or something? And I was like, it's like, we're doing stuff on Friday. Like, that's when we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have everything on Friday. And then I walk in, and of course, she has gifts.
Of course.
So then right away, at first I walk in the house, I'm like, oh, nothing in her hands. There's no sudden surprises. I walk into my bedroom, gifts. Slap in the face for me.
I think the answer is not leave you, though. So I guess it's
I would
love
hope
you.
not.
I guess it's love you.
Or else it's a rude awakening for me on Friday.
The stories you love with the opinions you hate. The Riot Radio U.
For our Thursday tradition, it's Choice Champions. Isaiah and I make the picks, and you decide which one of us is the winner We're going to do snake draft style. Today's topic, the best chips or stuff from the chip aisle. Anything you can find in the chip aisle. If you want to choose smart food, that's your prerogative. If you want to choose rolled gold for some reason, go right ahead. But I think you're already setting yourself up for a loss if you do that. Anything from the chip aisle. And Isaiah and I will make the picks. 3 choices each. And then you decide which one of us wins and let us know which ones we miss at 8772 Radio U. Isaiah, you have the honor of the first pick.
The first overall pick, I don't know if people are going to like this or not, but I told myself I'm going to stand very true to myself in these choices.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to please the people.
Uh-huh.
At number 1 overall, I'm taking the original Cape Cod kettle-cooked chips.
Ooh.
I'm taking just kettle-cooked. Cape Cod's the brand.
The upscale you're going with.
Oh, I mean, money's no issue in Choice Champions.
Yes, that is true.
I'm going with the kettle cooked. I'm a big kettle cooked guy.
That's a good choice. I like Cape Cod. Cape Cod. In fact, maybe it's coming up on my list as well. But before that, I'm going to go with the Crunchy Cheetos.
Cheetos.
I am a Cheetos guy. You give me my pick of the entire chip aisle, and I will happily choose the Crunchy Cheetos every single time. My second choice, and this is tough. This is something I feel like I've gotten into more recently. But my second choice, I can't get enough of these either. I eat these like a maniac. The sour cream and onion Lays.
Sour cream and onion Lays?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You know what? That's a good choice. I like sour cream and onion Lays.
They are so good.
I like that choice.
If I get the samplers like you would get when you were a kid or whatever, or if the parents would bring to the baseball game, if you get if I have the Crunchy Cheetos and the Lay's sour cream and onion in those, that's a hit for me.
I like those choices. I'm going to follow it up, and I'm going to go just with a tried and true, never done me wrong, Doritos nacho cheese.
Ooh.
I'm going nacho
popular.
cheese, just the original. Another one of my go-to favorites. I'm going to go with the Ruffles cheddar sour cream.
I like the Ruffles. I like the choice. I like the pick. My final pick to round out our Choice Champions draft. This is tough. I'm between 2. And which one do I prefer? You know what? Sorry, Cape Cod. I'm going with spicy chili Doritos.
Spicy chili.
Yeah,
okay,
the purple bag.
The purple bag.
The purple bag is the best
Very
bag
popular.
of all the Cheetos. So, recap in our chip aisle draft. Isaiah, you had the first pick, and you have.
I've got Cape Cod kettle cooked chips, the original. I'm also going with nacho cheese Doritos, and I'm going with the Ruffles cheddar and sour cream.
And I have the Crunchy Cheetos, sour cream and onion Lays, and spicy chili Doritos. 8772 Radio U. Which of us has the better team of chips? And what did we miss? We'll find out next.
Add a little Riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at Radio U Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Choice Champions. Today we're drafting the chip aisle because we just did a food fight this morning with the new Crunchy Buffalo Cheetos. You can watch that on the Radio U Riot Facebook page and YouTube channel. Isaiah, you had the first pick in our chip aisle draft. Your team is?
I took the Cape Cod kettle cooked chips. I also took Ruffles cheddar and sour cream and nacho cheese Doritos.
And my team is the Crunchy Cheetos, sour cream and onion Lays, and spicy chili Doritos. The votes and texts are rolling in. Dirk says voting for Isaiah, and we forgot Grippo's Barbecue. I'll tell you, Dirk, Grippo's, that would be considered like a regional chip, right?
Grippo's, probably.
I had several more regional chips that I put on my just missed the cut list, where I actually might take them over the national Lay's, but we're a national show.
I will say with the Grippo's, the one thing I really like about them is they still do the athletes on the bag, which you don't see a lot. It's a regional chip, but they do a lot of regional athletes on the bag, which I think is really cool.
That is cool. Philip also has a more regional one. He says we missed Mikesel's cheddar cheese puffs. Do you like those puffs?
Oh, I like some puffs.
I went through a big kick of having the puffed cheesies. and those are good. Not talking about like the puffing corn, I think is what they call them. And he also is voting for you to bring me down.
Bring him down.
D, though, says it was close. You both picked good selections, but Hudson wins with Cheetos. She also, in her 3, would go Crunchy Cheetos, as well as Snyder's Buffalo Pretzels and H-E-B restaurant-style chili lime tortilla chips.
Oh, honestly, I did consider picking a tortilla chip. I considered.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any tortilla chips I like that much. Because they always you need to dip them in something, so on their own, not good enough to make it.
I almost went On the Border. That's the one that I thought about.
Oh, yeah, I just had
but I would
some
never
of
buy them.
those at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, real expensive.
Susanna, Cheetos win every time, though I was hoping Isaiah would have chosen Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and then you would have had her vote.
That would have been a dirty move, Susanna.
But she says kettle chips are the worst.
No.
Which is shocking.
I love the
kettle chips. I love kettle chips. Bailey, I vote for Isaiah, and we missed, in Bailey's opinion, Garden Salsa Sun Chips.
Very popular.
I totally forgot because I was thinking.
I considered
of walking through the chip aisle. I don't recall ever seeing Sun Chips, even though I've had Sun Chips and they're amazing. It's always exciting when you get, sometimes on my flights, when I've gone on flights, I get the salsa Sun Chips.
Those ones, the garden salsa. Robert also called in about these as well, and I would tell you these were under consideration for me.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of the garden salsa. I didn't pull the trigger. They were on the list of honorable mentions.
Yeah,
but we were talking about it on the break, and they feel healthy for no reason at all. But they feel as if, I think it's the texture.
Yeah, because they're so grainy. It feels like you're eating, it's like kind of like how mini wheats feel like a healthier cereal, Frosted Mini Wheats.
That's something we need to do in the future. Foods that feel healthy, but we know they aren't.
They can't be. There's nothing healthy about them, but they can't be as unhealthy as like regular potato chips, right?
They can't. I mean, I don't know. They're probably just as bad.
Yeah, they probably are. But thinking about them though, I totally forgot about those, but you put those to me against my spicy chili Doritos. If I had the choice of the two, I'd be hard pressed to not actually choose the salsa chip, the salsa Sun Chips. Let's see. We also have somebody who did not give their name, but says that we both lose because we did not choose Cool Ranch Doritos, which are good.
I do love Cool Ranch. They're right there with nacho cheese. I go back and forth on which one I like more all the time. Right now, I'm on nacho cheese.
Abby says, I got to vote for Isaiah's choices. And she says Doritos were a good pick from you, the nacho cheese. And then Philip says, definitely Isaiah, barbecue kettle cooked chips of any brand are the best.
Kettle cooked are elite. I love them. Any honorable mentions, Chad?
For me, I just wanted to give a shout out to Hers chips. They are the best brand of chips to me, but that's East Coast. That could be my Maryland bias seeking in, which is also why I would say Utz. Generally better. I'm sure that like their Utz sour cream and onion are probably better than Lay's, but that's just not a national brand. Also, jalapeno Cape Cod would have been my Cape Cod choice. And this is my favorite chip, and again, not national, but Zapp's Voodoo Chips might be my favorite other than Crunchy Cheetos.
The only honorable mention I had?
Yeah.
Funyuns.
Oh, how did I miss Funyuns?
Controversial, but
Dang.
I love them.
I forgot about Funyuns too, but I would put those probably should have been in my top 3.
Thanks for watching the worst of the Riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more Riot.